I just want to thank everybody for raising their hand and participating in Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Awesome.
Hello. We are back again here at Nevada Partners at the podcast studio. I am your host, Breeze, for today, and we have a very, very amazing and special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chef Stacey Dugan. I am a vegan and plant-based chef here in Las Vegas, and I have a brand called Simply Pure that's been around for about 9 years now, so we're going to get into it.
Come on. Yeah, we got to get the sound effects queued up so we can get those little applause and the drum noises and the horns, because I'm super excited to interview you today.
Thank you.
So first question, we'll get right into it.
Yeah.
What's your biggest culinary inspiration when you first started exploring the vegan life and
Good
chef in that
question.
space?
My first inspiration, culinary-wise, I'd have to say Iris Latham. You know who that is? He's a raw food chef. He got to be pushing 80 years old now.
Wow.
But he was amazing then. He's amazing now. And because my first restaurant was my first introduction to my first restaurant, it was a raw food restaurant. So I had to study people that were doing raw foods, like Dr. Sabi, like Iris Latham. So
and
he
where
was
that at?
That was in Atlanta. So so a little bit of background. So I'm from Detroit. I'm just gonna give you like a timeline because the stories will make sense.
Yeah.
So I'm from Detroit originally, born and raised. I moved here going into 9th grade, and I went to Cimarron High School. And then after graduating, I moved to Atlanta, and I went to Spelman College. And then I stayed in Atlanta after I graduated for about 10 more years. So after I graduated from college, I went into the music industry. So my background is actually in music and entertainment. I did artist development for Universal Music Group. I was going to be this big time music executive. That was my thing, but God had other plans, and so I was becoming vegan at the time just because my body just craved vegan food. That's just what I prefer.
Yeah.
And also because I was trying to heal myself of eczema, which is a skin disorder that a lot of people have. And so I became part of like a Hebrew community. This was after college. My parents were like, "What are you doing?" You know.
Yeah.
But I really learned a lot from the Hebrew community, including learning how to cook. And then some of the gentlemen from that community, we became friends, and then we opened up a restaurant together. So we used my credit. I was working for the record label, so I had like a lot of money. I had perfect credit. So we just used what I had to open up the restaurant, and that's how I learned how to cook vegan food. So I actually learned how to prepare raw food before vegan food because it was a raw food restaurant. And so for people who don't know, raw food is nothing that comes from an animal, like vegan raw food. So still no dairy, no meat, no eggs, things like that.
Right.
But it's nothing that's cooked over 115 degrees. So you maintain all the nutrients in the food. So that's really how you heal the body. So Iris Latham, like I said, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Jewel Pookrum, who's like my aunt. You know, I've been knowing her since I was in kindergarten. And some other, Queen Afua was around there. And so those are the people that I studied. And so I really learned how to do raw food first and how to heal the body with food. So that's why I kind of stick to, cooking from the earth. So that's how I started. Yeah.
And then so we pulled up, it said Everlasting Life was the first
Yes, that was
restaurant.
the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did your research.
Yeah. I do a little bit of my thing. I have to make sure I'm on point. Otherwise, I'll just be sitting here not knowing anything, asking the most generic questions.
Yeah, very good. It was called Everlasting Life. Yeah.
And then you opened that up really, really soon after graduating, right?
Yeah,
So,
like maybe 2 years after graduating.
Yeah, what was that experience like on a business level, right? So we have a ton of entrepreneurs that are watching these podcasts and that are learning about the process of starting a business, whether they're in the startup phase or maybe they're 4 years into the business. How was that first experience?
That's a good question too. So I was green, I didn't know anything really about being an entrepreneur, but I did know about like hustle. So I think I just ran into the right people at the right time. They were becoming friends, and also they were a part of the Hebrew community. So they were also teaching me just about a lot of life changes, things that were happening. So we became friends, and so I was friends with my business partners first, and we just gelled. It worked, and it was challenging because I didn't know what I was doing. There's some things that I would have done different. Like I probably wouldn't have put my whole credit on the line without them putting up stuff. Like most of the capital, mostly everything was mine. So I would have done it differently. I would have done the contract differently, but you know, you live and you learn. So I think the biggest thing for me was just figuring out like my business relationship, because the recipes were challenging also, but I was so dedicated to it that it was fun also. You know,
Yeah.
it's to study under Dr. Sabia. I was like, wow, you know, all of these people who were really healing the body with food. So for me, it was challenging only in the sense that I had to learn like that business relationship part. So if you're going to have a partner, just know that you really got to have that tight.
Yeah, everything
Yeah,
has to be
because I
right.
ended up having to close the restaurant, and it wasn't on good terms with my business partners. But you know, it's fine.
It happens. I mean, I've had that
Mm-hmm.
situation myself, and it's definitely a learning experience. But I think it's like a stripe or a rite of passage that you
It
have to
is,
have to start your first business,
for
right?
sure.
Otherwise, you haven't really gone through it at all. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
When did you start your experience private chefing? Right.
That's a good question too. Yeah. So after I closed the restaurant, I was a private chef for one of the ambassadors in the community, in the Hebrew community, and it was like a government, right? So you had the top of the top, you had like your president, your vice president. That wasn't the name of the positions, but it was just
Essentially
structured
what
like
it
that.
is. Yeah.
Correct. So I worked for like I was a private chef for like the vice president. You know, it was really I was up there, and he moved me to Chicago. He's deceased now. His name is Prince Asiel, and he moved me to Chicago so that I could be his private chef. And then I learned more about the body because he also had a colonic centers. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
if you're familiar with colonics,
I
but
am.
that's
I
when you
am.
cleanse the colon. Yeah. So I learned how to do colonics, and I was doing that, and so that even delved me deeper into like healing the body and the gut and that the gut mind connection. And then he moved to Ghana. He was all over the place. Like he would travel the world just putting together different business deals and things. And he went to Ghana, and he was gone for a while, like maybe 3 weeks. That was a while. And he was like, look, I need you to come to Ghana because I need somebody to cook for me. He's like,
Right.
because, you know, they're not cooking the kind of food that he's used to.
Yeah.
And so he flew me out there, you know, like first class, everything, you know, he was top of
Nice.
the line, everything. And so I got there, and as soon as I landed on the soil, I was like, whoa, like this is it, you know, so
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, the motherland. It feels different as
It
soon as
feels
you touch
different as soon
down.
as you
Come on.
hit the soil. It's like, whoa, yeah. So I hope I answered your question. Did I go around
You
around the
did. No,
world? I
no,
did.
that was
Okay.
exactly right. So you cooked for some very high profile people, including the Clinton family, Usher, Erica Badu. What was the experience like that? What was it?
Yeah,
What
they're
was
all
it?
different,
And
you
how did it
know.
shape your experience, in the private chef industry?
Absolutely. So going back to Everlasting Life, the first restaurant. So during that time, remember, I was in the music industry. So
That's
I
right.
had access to artists. So back then, I was cooking for Erica Badu. I've been cooking for Erica for like 30 years almost, 20, maybe 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
On and off, but I started cooking for her back then. I was like 22, 23 years old, something like that. Common was one of my, he came to my restaurant a couple times, Andre 3000. But remember, I was in Atlanta in the height, like 19,
Right. In the golden era.
yeah, the golden era of Atlanta, and that was the joint. I moved there in 1994, so that was the year
Right.
Outkast dropped their first album. Atlanta was just it was a vibe, and so that's when I was. Indy Irie is still a friend of mine to this day. So I was around that, and I was in the music industry on top of that. So
Amazing.
that experience was like. I mean, it's interesting because artists are people. And one thing that I noticed being in the music industry was that artists do not take care of themselves.
Yeah.
So like some people like Erica Badu, she'll take care of herself because she just true to making sure that she stays healthy.
Right.
But most of the artists don't take care of themselves. So my goal was to create an environment where artists could feel safe to come and they would get top tier healthy food because I love music so much. I went into the music industry because of my love for the music and my love for the artists.
Right.
So it's kind of like cooking for them is like my way of giving back to the artistry and my way of saying thank you, even though I'm charging you, yeah, but still,
Yeah.
And even with Bill Clinton, so the same with Usher. Usher came into my place. He came into Simply Pure when I had my restaurant here. Who else? Bill Clinton. That he came into my restaurant, and that's an interesting story because I was about to close. I was on the verge of closing, like I had an eviction notice and everything, and then Bill Clinton walks in, and it just changed the trajectory of my business. So it's different artists for different things. I've been working with artists for so long
Yeah.
that it's just kind of like, you know.
So went to Atlanta in '94.
Yep.
When did you end up coming to Las Vegas?
I went to Atlanta, and from Atlanta, I went to Chicago to work for the ambassador for like, it wasn't even a year because Chicago was just too cold. I couldn't do it. It's too cold.
It's brick.
And I'm just brick, yeah. And I'm from Detroit originally, but you know, I haven't lived there since I was like 14, and I definitely don't go back during the winter.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, it's cold here. And then when he told me to come to Ghana, I was like packing up my stuff. Like, you ain't got to tell me twice. So I packed up my things, yeah. And then I was in Ghana from 2008 until like 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the
And then
timeline.
that's when you came here?
And then that's when I came back to Vegas. So my parents have always been here. We moved here when I was 14. So my parents just never left. So I was here for 4 years through high school, and then that's when I went and moved to Ghana and, you know, I mean, Atlanta and Chicago and Ghana. And then I came back here in 2010, 2011, something around there.
Nice.
Yep. And then I've been here ever since.
All right. So then Simply Pure, that was like a beloved fixture in the you know, Container Park area. Tell us about that experience when you opened it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tony Hsieh's birthday, who started the Downtown Project, his birthday's coming up on the 12th. So, you know, shout out to Tony Hsieh, and, you know, may he rest in peace because he unfortunately passed away tragically. But he had the vision to change downtown, and he wanted to help small businesses and help them create incubators for small businesses to thrive. And so I used to cook for him and for some of the companies that he started or helped fund way back before the Container Park was even a thing. It was called the Downtown Project, and he was just, you know, doing all kinds of things downtown. And so I was cooking at his apartment in the Ogden, and I met a lot of friends and acquaintances. And when the Container Park was opening, they actually approached me to open in the Container Park because they knew that I had already. So I didn't really have to.
There,
so I didn't really have to do anything except say yes. And then they funded. They gave me quite a bit of money to open it up. It was a small space, so it didn't require a lot of startup money. But they walked me through the whole thing. Like, they literally held our hands through like the health department process, and everything was just really, he just really wanted to make sure that we were very well supported in opening up our businesses. And so we opened up in December 2013, and we stayed open 7.5 years. We closed April 2021.
Yeah, that's a healthy run.
It was a healthy run. Yeah, it was good. It was great. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And so what is your philosophy behind a lot of the recipes that you come up with, right? I know you said that you enjoyed that process to make them all, but do you have kind of a methodology that you use to even pull out those flavors and things like that?
I do. So first of all, I feel like because my background is rooted in health and wellness when it comes to food, I do my best to create recipes that come from the earth, because the same minerals that are in our body, I believe it's like 108, 112, something around there. I have to look it up, ChatGPT. But the same minerals that are in your body are also in the earth. So you have to eat from the earth in order to replenish the body. It's the only way. And then drink water, of course. But the earth is like, 75, 80% water anyway. So your body is a reflection of the earth. So that's why we came up with the name Simply Pure, because we wanted everything to be simple, pure, come from the earth. So I don't open a lot of packages and cans and things like that. We're literally in the kitchen, like cutting up tomatoes and things like that. And so that's one inspiration, is just making sure that we are offering really wholesome plant-based food that really comes from fruits and vegetables and plants and legumes and things like that. And then also just giving homage to our roots when it comes to healing and food and the ancestors. And so I always pray before I go into the kitchen, or when I'm there, I do a small prayer just asking that that the food be used to heal, and that I have a good experience, you know. And I usually light my incense and have I have a whole ritual. And so people are always like, why does your food taste so good? I'm like, because I make it with love. And I never go into the kitchen if I'm angry, you know. So
intentional cooking.
Very intentional, very intentional. You have to be, because you're like, food is life.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So I got two real quick ones. What's one of your favorite recipes, and then what's the fan favorite or one of the fan favorite recipes?
Good question. My favorite recipe, you know what? My favorite recipe and the fan favorite has to be lasagna. It's
Yeah.
both because I really curated that dish because I make everything from scratch. Well, the sauce not anymore because I found a really good one from Italy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't have to make the sauce anymore. But the way we build the lasagna and just the flavors and how everything melts together, you just can't find anything else like it. So I've made it more than 10,000 times. Like, it's,
Yeah,
you know, I've
that's
made it so I
10,000
can make,
hours and
you
then
know what
some
I'm
more.
saying? Right, right. So I can make it in my sleep, but I'd say that was a fan favorite, and
Nice.
it's my favorite. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So we have a guy who works out here in the incubator. His name is Steven. He's doing a fast right now,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And so we were recently talking about fasting and things like that.
Yeah.
You have the Glow Up, which was like a 3-day juice cleanse, right? So what inspired you to bring that to the people?
Yeah, I've never been successful with doing fast. Even though I've been like a nutritionist for a while, I just gotta eat. I like to eat. You know, so I did like a fast like one day, you know, but it's like, and it's so funny because my mother and my brother, they can do it like no problem. But I think it was 2022, December, I was like, I'm feeling really lethargic. I'm feeling sleepy. I'm feeling tired. I feel a little foggy. Like, I feel like I need to do something. So I was like, I'm going to commit to doing 3 days of just juices and no eating and see how I feel. You know, and it also helps with your discipline. You know, it just helps with other areas of your life when you're fasting. So spiritually, you know, you fast. So I went ahead and just put together, like I went on ChatGPT and just put together like a little juice fast. And I made all my juices. And I also at nighttime made like a broth. So I like steamed the vegetables and strained the vegetables off to make my own broth. And that was like my dinner, so to speak.
Right.
And it was the most amazing experience. I had never experienced anything like that. And I also did what was called smooth move tea during the time I did one batch of smooth move tea, and that just helps to cleanse the body like you use the bathroom and eliminate. And I just felt so good. Like I hadn't felt that high in a long time without smoking, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is like incredible how I felt. And I actually ended up going 4 days. And I documented everything as I did it because I just wanted to document like how I felt. So I did some videos, but I did mostly voice notes and like I did like notes to myself. And so after it was done, I was like, you know what, I want to put together a book. So literally I locked myself in my room for 8 hours one day and just ChatGPT helped me to structure the book. And I just put in my whole experience and what I thought was good information that worked for me.
Amazing.
And that's how I came up with the book and the cleanse.
Yeah.
And the recipes.
Amazing. It's funny because in a lot of places on the planet Earth, right, they do these parasite cleanses and juice cleanses to reset your body, you know, because regardless of how healthy you're eating, you still need to cleanse these things out and things get stuck inside, right? And I guess with the, colonoscopy learning and things like that kind of gives more insight on the mind, body, gut, and heart health. Those are all connected.
It's all connected.
And so I've been learning a lot about it. And that was something I was really interested about. Maybe I should do the juice cleanse before I go straight into the fasting because, man, I'm supposed to do a 7-day.
Yeah,
and it's
you
a
told me
little
about
bit
that,
tough.
right?
You know, I'm like, I got to do it before Christmas time.
Okay.
You know, but if I could hold it down, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So you said you see a perfect marriage between cannabis and vegan cuisine, right?
Absolutely.
So tell me about that, right? You've been, I believe, with the Chamber
Chamber
as well,
of Cannabis.
right?
I sat on the board of the Chamber of Cannabis for a year. So my interest in cannabis came right after I had my son. So I had always kind of dibbled in that. You know, you smoke a little bit, you don't really do it. A lot of people just do it just to relax. That would be my thing, but I didn't know the science behind cannabis. And so after I had my son, I needed something to kind of chill me out, but also I still had to work because I had my restaurant at that time. And I didn't want to drink wine because I was breastfeeding. You don't really want to mix alcohol with that. And it just didn't appeal to me like that anymore. And so I started learning about edibles. I had a friend here. He actually had a grow in Oregon, so he was growing stuff and he was sending me things that I could try, and I like loved it, and I was like, oh, I like the way that this makes me feel, and so I just started studying like first on myself. It's always like that, right? You start on yourself first, and then you're like, oh, this made me feel good. Exactly, yeah. So I was like, how can I? And so he supplied me with some things that I could kind of like experiment with on my own, some flour. And I just started becoming interested in the plant, just started studying myself. And then I was invited, I was going to the Chamber of Cannabis events, and then I was invited by the president. Her name is Tina, and a really good friend of mine to this day. And she was saying, you know, she would ask me if I wanted to be on the board. And I was like, yeah. So I had to interview and do all that. And it was great. I learned so much just about business, the cannabis business, specifically here in Vegas. And fortunately, right now we're in the middle of MJ BizCon, so I'm actually going to a cannabis event tonight.
Yes, I'll see you there.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing more in the cannabis space, but the marriage between cannabis and food was pretty simple because cannabis makes you feel good. It's healthy for the body. It's a plant. It comes from the earth. God put it here for us to use responsibly, but also to heal. I feel like the mind, body, spirit connection, especially if it's used in a way that's intentional.
100%.
Very intentional. So I learned about the terpenes. You know, I only consume certain strains because certain strains make me feel different ways. I really only consume a few products like GLP, Green Life Productions. They just sent me some stuff. Thank you. To work with.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Green Life. They're here in Pahrump. They have a grown Pahrump,
Yeah.
but they're top shelf. And the husband and wife are friends of mine. So I love the cannabis space. And it's so interesting how it's just taken its turn because, of course, it was not legal. It's still kind of not legal, but the fact that now we can do things that we couldn't do before with cannabis is super interesting. So I'm looking forward to continuing the marriage of food and cannabis and entertainment.
Yes.
You know, so.
How long after you were introduced to, cannabis and integrating that into the food did it take you to say, yes, I need my own brand and then to launch your brand?
Yeah, I launched my brand in 2022. It's called IEA, and it's a West African name. It means earth or life, like that kind of, like that's the connotation. It's not the same language as English, so I'm just paraphrasing what the meaning is, but I have edibles, so I make dehydrated kale chips, I make tincture, because I wanted to come up with a line of edibles that didn't have a lot of sugar.
Because they're all sweets and chocolates and lollipops and these
and
things.
I don't even eat like that.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to, so I made the cannabis kale chips, those are like a hit. And then I did a tincture, and the tincture is really good. You can drop that in your tea, coffee, juice, whatever. And so I'm working on making that a business again, reviving that business. But we were doing cannabis dining experiences. I probably started doing those maybe 5 years after I started consuming.
Yeah.
And we were doing cannabis dining experiences in 2017, 2018, 2019, right around those years.
Amazing.
Yeah. So.
And that's what I love is that you just bring the savory side, man. Some of us are savory people and we just enjoy those kind of flavors versus just having something that's sweet all the time or just some sour candies and gummy worms and stuff like that.
Stuff that's not even...
Yeah. Gummy worms that were made with kind of bad cannabis product that just leave just a terrible taste in your mouth
And they got
afterwards.
gelatin in them. Some of them do, which is a pork product. It's like, no. I do make cookies. So, because I do have people that want cookies, and so I'll do those.
That's fair.
And
I'll take an oatmeal raisin.
yep, see,
so
there you
Come
go.
on.
Yeah, a cookie. I do cookies. I make my own infused coconut oil.
Yeah.
So I'll do cookies. I'll do the tincture and the the cannabis kale chips, and those are like the three that I stick to.
Amazing. So we are currently located on the historic Westside here in the incubator lab. Why is this community so important to you, Stacey?
Oh, that's a great question. First of all, I love Vegas. Like, I came here kicking and screaming because I was 14 years old and my parents were moving me from Detroit to Vegas, and I was just like...
When you're forced, it's kind of hard to see beyond that.
And it was 1990, so it wasn't like that many of like people of color, and I come from all black Detroit, like it was 96% African American. And coming here, it was a bit of a culture shock. But I love Vegas, and I love the historic Westside because of the history here. This is our history. This is the history of the African American in Las Vegas, and so that's one of the reasons why I love the historic Westside. Also because there's just a lot of landmarks here. Like
Yeah.
we have Nevada Partners. We have Zion United Methodist Church, which is right around the corner, and that's like my new
Two
headquarters.
greenhouses.
Yes,
I'm
with
still
the
shocked when I went over there. I said, man, they got a lot
man.
going on right here.
Listen, that if God did not orchestrate that collaboration for me, like we all in with over
Yeah.
there, and they have the most beautiful farm. They're growing all these fresh fruits and vegetables, and they want to do farm to table dining experiences. So, there's a lot going on over here. I would love to open up like a small like cafe or something on this side of town, but really I just love it because this is where my people are concentrated, and it has so much historical significance.
Yeah, and you've done a lot to combat, kind of the food desert situation that they have here on this side of town and throughout the valley, honestly, as well. What are some of those initiatives that you've been able to integrate into or be a part of over the years?
Yeah, so there is, well, start with the one that we have now. So we just recently started a buy one, gift one program. So thank you. Yeah,
Come
so we started
on.
it Thanksgiving weekend. So Thanksgiving is our biggest catering day of the year. So this year, especially with all the food insecurity, it's only getting worse. Grocery prices are only going up. And I kind of like to stay in my lane. Like, there's a lot of issues that we have to address in America.
100.
But I can't address all of them. And I kind of
99.
got to stay in my lane. So I'm like, I'm going to see how I can work with the food, issue, especially because that's the area everybody got to eat. It's
Yeah.
really important what you put in your body. So we decided to do the buy one get one program where every time someone purchased a Thanksgiving meal, whether it be the greens or the macaroni and cheese or whatever, then we would donate a meal. So we actually got like 56 orders. So we are going to give away 56 meals for Thanksgiving, and we'll be doing that this weekend on Sunday at Zion United Methodist Church. Right after church, we're going to be giving out some soups and salads and things like that. So,
Amazing,
yeah, so
amazing.
that's like the first thing. And then just the buy one, gift one for now. We've been a part of a few initiatives to combat food insecurity. We work with the Bodo Collective Farm as well. I work with Mario's, where we were pulling up our food truck to Mario's every Monday, and we were doing meatless Mondays at Mario's, trying to get
Yes.
people from the community to come. But we ended up having to shut it down just because we weren't making any money. We were losing money every week.
Yeah, doing the service, but
Right.
it really is volunteer at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah,
Right?
we were losing money. And finally, my business partner was like, "Girl, we got to put our own gas mask on first." So we want to do it again, but we have to make it bigger. Maybe get the community involved and get like a grant. Something.
Amazing.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some grants floating around for 26, so we'll
For
be on the
sure.
lookout for
Yeah,
it for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
So, what are you most proud of in your career so far, Stacey?
I'm most proud of my consistency and resilience to just stay the course. Because a lot of people just don't. There's a lot of companies that have come and gone. And yeah, that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. It's just your ability to not quit.
That's it. And the support structure, right?
And
Your
your-
sources of strength that you have
Correct.
behind you as well.
And then my personal, of course, leaning to my more personal accomplishments is my son, because I have a 10-year-old. He's 11 now. Oh, he's
know.
11. He just turned 11 on the 24th of November. And him personally, he's just an amazing kid.
And then
Yeah,
you're
so-
going to be bringing back the cooking show with him,
Yes.
correct?
We are. So
Yes.
it's interesting because, gosh, like I feel like, as an entrepreneur, I'm all over the place, but I'm also really focused.
Yeah.
So
I think you're focused if you get to do business and spend time with the family and you're wearing it.
Man,
Come on now, that's doing it the best
that's
that you
the-
can, no
and
matter
I
how
have-
it feels.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I feel really good about that part. And my son's homeschooled too, so we do spend a lot of time together. And he loves to cook. Like, he had an Amazon wish list, and he's like an old man. So my friend was like, I sent it to one of his like aunties, my friend, and she texted me back. She said, "Girl, your son wants bath salts and kitchen appliances." She's like, "Bath salts?" I'm like,
All those
"Listen."
electronics on there. He want bad sauce.
He won bath salts. He had bedroom furniture. He wants a new bedroom set, so I told him to put everything on there that he wants, and between my family and friends, we would get it for him. And he had kitchen appliances, like a He had a chef knife. He had a non-stick skillet. Like this boy, he's old.
Come on. I got to see his, Spotify or Apple Music
You
roundup at
gotta
the end of
see
the
his.
year.
Yep, I
He
got
probably
it.
got Al Green
Yeah.
on there and all these guys.
He has a playlist on my. I have title. He has a playlist on my title. I'm
Nice.
gonna let you see it. And he has his own playlist now. This one's a little old. This one's probably like, yeah, he probably hasn't added anything in a few months because now he has his own phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So he has his own playlist. But I'll let you see this playlist. He got like 100 songs on there. And it's interesting.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yep. Yeah, he know all them songs. He know all them songs. So that's because, and you got to see, the thing is too, is that I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 on my next birthday. So thank you. Yeah, I think I look all right. It'll be 50.
Look great. Come on.
So, but I also have a 11-year-old, so it keeps me young and it keeps me feeling young and it keeps me connected to what's happening because I have him, so I have to know. And he's just a cool kid, so yeah.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So if there is one thing that you can tell any of the entrepreneurs that are
Mm-hmm.
watching, give them the statement to close us out.
Yeah. Let me think about it for a second before I answer. I want to be intentional.
100%. There's a ton of ways to go with it.
Yeah, there are. You got to be, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to understand that entrepreneurship is personal development first. If you don't develop yourself personally, then your business will only go so far. And it's hard to develop yourself. That's the hardest part about entrepreneurship is getting out of your own way and changing and pivoting when you need to do it. Not anybody else. It's easy to blame people for stuff. It's easy to, but when you're the leader, when you're an entrepreneur, you're the leader. So everything rises and falls on you. It don't matter. So I would tell all entrepreneurs to invest in your personal development. That means that what you're listening to, like you listen to podcasts, listen to people like Myron Golden or Les Brown or Jim Rohn or all of these. Read books. You got to read. No way around being an entrepreneur and you don't read. That blows my mind every time. I'm reading a book. Well, I just finished it. It's by Dan Martell. It's called Buy Back Your Time. And it took me a while to read it because I was reading like 5 pages at a time. But, here we are, almost done. And just build your library and just make sure that you're learning every day about how you can be the best version of you, and then your business will follow.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Mm-hmm. So thank you again for sharing some
course.
time with us here at the Incubator Lab.
Yeah.
Where can people find you other than we know SimplyPureLV.com?
Yes.
So check us out. But where can we find you on Instagram?
Yeah, for sure. It's Simply Pure LV across all platforms. So that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, and then Chef Stacey Dugan across all platforms. Pretty simple. We kept it. See, that's what you gotta do, the brand. You can't have all these random names, Simply Pure LV, Chef Stacey Dugan. Yep. If you Google us, we come up, and just follow us around the city. We have some pretty dope things coming up.
Come on.
So I'm excited about everything that we're doing in the food space, in the cannabis space, in the music space, entertainment, education, children, all of that. So.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. So throughout the rest of this month, we're going to be bringing a lot of the community leaders and some of the best minds to be able to sit here and speak to you about their experiences. The goal is to bring in 2026 with 100% effort, efficiency, and like Deadpool says, maximum effort. So it's your boy Breeze from Raw Marketing.